Hey guys, it's Tom Box. Thanks for tuning into MST.TV. Now this is a bit of a special episode because I'm answering all the questions that you guys have been throwing at me since WCS 2019. Like, some of the most popular questions include: how did you get invited to WCS 2019? Did you get to talk with Konami staff? Did they teach you how they make their ban list? Is needle fiber coming? How do I get myself invited? All that and more coming right up. So make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe, ding notification bell, because I got a bunch of WCS Portland content coming up very soon. Alright, but I'm going to be answering this particular video in a timeline-based fashion, so I can answer basically everything in context and in sequence. And there's a lot of things that happen during the event, so I want to go through each and every part of that as well as give my personal opinion to various things. Anyways, let's jump into this one. So the very first question I want to answer is one that I just want to get out the door, is how come every single video of mine says sponsored by Konami? Did Konami make me say certain things? And the answer to that is no, they didn't make me say anything. In fact, I could have said nothing throughout the entire event, but that would have been awful in terms of my case as a media influencer. That's why I chose to output so many videos. They gave us a lot of freedom, and the reason why a lot of the video says sponsored by Konami is because it's a legality thing. They sponsored the entire event, and they sponsored all the product that they gave us, like the free gifts and the early product that we received. Those things have to contain sponsored by Konami. Outside of that, we had free reign. So I just want to break that rumor saying that, oh, Konami's gonna make you say certain things, and that's an absolute lie. Whoever that came up with that is probably just doesn't understand at all. So anyways, let's just get that one out of the window. And probably this video says sponsored by Konami. Why? It's because I'm going to be using footage from the event. But regardless, let's move on to some of the stuff from the beginning, from the invite all the way to the end. Question number 2, how did I get invited to WCS 2019? That is a really good question, because even I don't really know the answer. At least I don't know like the true answer behind all of it. But all I know is Konami is the one that reached out to me. It was really strange because all of a sudden I got an email from them, and when I got an email from them, I was like, hey, do you want to go to WCS 2019 as a social media influencer? I didn't even know this thing existed. That's because this was the first time they tried to work together with social media influencers. And I just said yes, worked it all out, and before I knew it, I was already there. So they are the one who reaches out. And on top of that, the second thing to note is that I'm pretty sure they pay attention to the content that is put out there. Like, before I got there, I didn't know anyone there. Well, I know of some of the staff there that put out videos on like Konami's official Yu-Gi-Oh website, or not website, their official YouTube. But what I got to see is like, oh, hi, they already knew me of my work, so it was really cool. So I got to meet them in person. They're not just like this giant corporation that you can't really see. They were real people that were willing to open a conversation. So what I can say is they do pay attention to the content that's put online, and they have probably their own ways of finding people that they want to work with. So yeah. So what happened on Thursday? So I want you guys to know that the event takes place before the Saturday and Sunday. Everything actually takes place before. They probably have production crew, they have players come in, they have staff come in, and of course us influencers also came in, and most of us came in on Thursday, which was very cool. So they received us, and when we landed, they basically guided us all the way there. They had people holding signs. They had a nice lady holding a sign and guided us all the way through the airport to get our transit passes, to take transit all the way to the hotel. And yeah, that was like guided all the way through. So really smooth transition. So I enjoyed that. Once we got to the hotel, get our badges, get our rooms, drop everything off, relax, go to sleep. No. That didn't happen. We got to eat with and meet with our chaperone and all the other tubers that were part of our group. And once that's over, it was more. At night, they set up a mingle for us so that we can talk with the players, we can talk with the staff. There was just a bunch of stuff set up. Some people set up their streams. And this is the part that kind of blows my mind a little. And to this day, it's still like, I'm pretty defensive when it comes to filming at an event, because if you guys haven't known already, back then, if you try to film, in fact, even now, if you don't have permission to film at an event, you're likely going to be asked to leave the venue. And it's happened to me personally because I didn't know any better, and this was the younger dumb Tom Box. But then we were encouraged to film. They would set up tables for us. They just did everything to make sure that our efforts to film was as smooth as possible. So this is unheard of for me. And make sure that you have permission to film as well if you're gonna go to any events. But like, we were basically with the influencer badge, permission was given, so we were able to talk with the players. There was a bunch of players in jerseys all ready to like talk with anyone, and you were allowed to play against the pros if you ask them nicely and they agreed. You can play against pros. But here's the catch about that entire part about playing with the pros. Like, most of them will play against you in speed duels, most of them will play against you perhaps in Duel Links, perhaps even on the Legacy of the Duelist that was set up. But none of them will play against you with a world deck, because no one wants to reveal their deck. They don't want to give any of their competitors any sort of advantage that they can see, so that they would have an early advantage of deck knowledge or anything of the sort. If you want to play them on the world's list, you have to provide them with a second deck to play with. That was basically the only way. That's the only time I saw a live duel happen. It's just that they just brought like their TCG decks. They didn't play their world's deck whatsoever. They avoided that as much as they can. So that is what happened on Thursday. But you can also set up some interviews. Like, you can talk with the players. Like, I saw, of course, Manov, Jesse Cotton. I got to converse with a lot of these people. You just got to make yourself known out there so that you're willing to grab an interview with them, or if they're ready to interview, they will come get you. Because remember, as mentioned before, you weren't allowed to go to the player lounge, and you are not allowed to go to the play area to grab them outside, because it is a very intense time. But that was Thursday night. So Thursday night was just like the precursor setup to the whole craziness that's going to happen on Friday. So, how did Konami show us new products? So that actually happened on Friday. On Friday, we had a choice between going on a sightseeing tour or go check out new product. And the new product option was only available for social media influencers. All right, so anyone that was a Yu-Gi tuber chose to go there. See, there's a bit of a difference between Yu-Gi tubers and YouTubers, because in Asia, most of them aren't Yu-Gi tubers. They're YouTubers that incorporate Yu-Gi-Oh into their videos, whereas Yu-Gi tubers, like channels like MST.TV, like myself, we're centered around Yu-Gi-Oh. So of course we chose to go do the product stuff. And at the product stuff, they set it up in the influencer room. We go there, there was Konami staff available. That's where I met Jerome, and Jerome demonstrated the Fire Fist combo that you guys can definitely check out. He demonstrates it, explains it very clearly. I wish I could do combos as well as he does, because he does it in such a clean fashion and he provides the logic behind every step. I wish I did that. I'm just kind of jumping the gun half the time. But yeah, they just talk about the product, and check out Team APS's video about the logic and the design of the Nibiru card and a lot of the promotional card that came out in the Megatin. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure it's already up. You guys can go check it out. But they explain the logic behind, like, oh, how many summons is too many summons? Like the R&D behind these cards is very fascinating. And they showcased it. They just had a bit of like a demonstration mode at the very beginning, and after the demo mode, they have multiple sets of these cards that you can just write down your name to sign them out, and then you return them and then sign them back in, and that's it. You get to make videos with them. You can even ask them to be in your video and interview them and have them demonstrate the thing for the public, and it was really neat to see that experience happen. So yeah, it was really, really cool. And for anything that you ask them, they basically let you talk about it, because I saw a striker dragon on the table and I was like, hey, there's a striker dragon on the table. Why is this here? It's like an OCG copy. Oh, it's like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be released in Chaos Impact, so we didn't really have the card ready, so we just brought the OCG copy here. I was like, am I allowed to share that? And they're like, yeah, anything that we talk about in this room, you're allowed to share, given that Konami didn't want us to all like race to put content out, so they actually provided us with a bit of a fairness thing where they time gated us, so that if we want to release the content that was talked about there, they made sure that everyone had an opportunity to build up their videos and then publish it and then release it. So yeah, that was really nice of them, so no one's just like rushing. So if you decide to put the effort to do the video the night of, you can release it the day after, kind of deal. So that was like, I actually like that. I don't like it so that we're all just racing each other. And if we all release at the same time, then you reach your audience out there. So it's not a crazy race. And of course I asked them, when is Needle Fiber coming? And to their answer, they did not actually answer me directly. If you expected a direct answer, I don't think it was going to come, because I don't think there is actually a planned release date, because Well, they told me Striker Dragon, and they didn't tell me Needle Fiber, so that's probably a very legitimate reason behind that. And the other answer that they kind of worked around just to get me thinking, you know, being a bit of a smarter player, like, what do you think would happen if they introduced Needle Fiber right now? How would the crowd respond to it? Like, there's going to be people that are really happy, there are going to be people that are going to be super upset. Super upset people are probably looking at it like maybe they don't want the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! To rely on that one combo to determine whether or not someone can win a game or not. It's very similar to Summon Sorcerers, and Summon Sorc was like a comparison because Summon Sorcerers was such an easy to summon card, and it allowed you to summon basically any monster out of the deck in basically bypassing the loopholes that you're supposed to jump through to summon particular cards. Like Malicious, where Malicious is a tribute summon card and you're supposed to use at least one of the materials to summon one out, but with the effect of Summon Sorc, you were able to summon one of them and use them as 3 materials, and that was just too much from one card. And eventually, of course, now you know exactly where Summon Sorc is. And based off of that answer, what I can think is we're probably not going to get Needle Fiber anytime soon, because it's just really powerful and it will just shape up the game. Perhaps maybe later on when it's in a less relevant state, we'll get it for a very short period of time and then probably answered right off. That's just my personal interpretation though. And of course I also asked them, how do you guys make the ban list? You know, that's something we're all curious about. They did answer this one. The ban list is, to some degree, an opinion. It is our opinion versus their opinion, and sometimes our opinions do line up, and some of them they don't, but they always have a bigger picture. There's many contributing factors that go into a ban list that we cannot see. That's kind of the answer that they gave me. Anyways, on top of that, Friday was pretty adventurous, so only half the time actually went into the product stuff. We were able to actually catch up with the tour group, so then we actually got half of the tour of Berlin. Next question. What is this social media influencer tournament that you keep talking about in your videos? Okay, so this is what I would dub as the official Yu-Gi Tuber Worlds Tournament. Like, this is a tournament hosted by Konami. They provided us with entry prizes such as an awesome influencer cap. They also provided us with speed duel and a box of speed duels for your entry, so that's really cool. Oh, on top of there's another entry thing that we got that we actually got like a day later, but this is the field center that you guys probably all got, except that ours is a bit of a different kind of field center. If you look at it right now, it's a bit of an ulti rare, and oh man, it's such a beautiful field center, especially when it's ulti and it's like it's got this glow emanating from the center. But yeah, this is basically what we got, but this isn't what we were playing for. We were playing for the mat, of course, and with the mat there was also the opportunity to play on the world stage. So if you make it to the finals, you get to go to the world stage, and it split us up into like different pods, and it was like YCS Japan style best of 1 with the worlds list, so that we can play TCG OCG alike. And I thought that it was really neat, and I won my pod, got to the finals pod, and beat my pod there as well. I played like Crusadia Thunder Dragon with main deck Twin Twisters, and luckily I did, because I actually had to deal with multiple Mystic Mines, and I did not want to auto lose against Mystic Mine. And in the finals, it was 2 Crusadia Guard Dragon playing against each other in the finals in a best of 1, which to some of you guys, yeah, probably the guy that's gonna win the dice is probably gonna win. And well, we'll figure out when that happened, right guys? So yeah, I did get to play on the world stage. Really like unbelievable experience. And yeah, that's what was really going on for the Friday, and that kind of sums up Friday. So what happened on Saturday? Like Saturday, the players were playing against each other, and I can say that the players were super emotional. You give them their space. If they want to talk to you, they will talk to you. Otherwise, it's gonna be difficult. Especially, okay, if your players are winning, sure, they'll come up and talk to you. But then for those that did not make it, they get really emotional because they're really invested, and that's when you give them their space. But what about us influencers? Like, we got so much free time, right? Well, this is much needed breathing room, and if Konami does this again, I highly suggest that we leave this block of time as it was, because it gave us time to edit our videos, it gave us time to set up collabs, and this is such a rare opportunity to collab with all these people. Lithium was there. I got to crack some packs with Simply Unlucky.
What's up guys, Simply Unlucky here with Tombox.
to talk with Paul from Team APS. I got to play against some of the German players. There was just so many people that you can interact with, and if I didn't mention you in this video, I'm just sorry. There's just so many of us, and a lot of us were just trying to create content with each other because we know how rare of an opportunity it was. This is the one part that, you know, please don't change. It was the breathing room that we needed, and it provided everyone a chance to test out like various tech streams and even create live duel content among our own channels. And you guys gave us like a lot of product to play with as well. So I really just, I can't be more grateful for that Saturday. That just gave us so much breathing room to kind of collect ourselves, preparing ourselves for the Sunday. So Sunday was the finals day, and the very first finals that you guys didn't get to see was MST.TV's Tombox versus Trader Online Videos Tim. That was the YouTuber Worlds of 2019. I guess the very first YouTuber tournament officially hosted by Konami, I guess, in some sense. And yeah, I'm glad you guys didn't get to see that because I got completely bodied in that round. But then we did get to play on the world stage, and it is quite an honor to play on that stage because a lot of the players didn't even get a chance to play on there. It was just mainly for the finalists, and I can say I'm a finalist myself. Okay, but that being said, yeah, here's some of the photos. We didn't get to record the game, of course, because Konami recorded that themselves, and it was kind of used as like test production so that they can get ready for the final stream. So yeah, whatever it was, I'm still really happy I got to play on there. I'm used to playing on camera, and it is a completely different experience when you sit up there. You kind of feel the pressure because you know that there's going to be tons of people watching you, and yeah, it's just a completely different experience overall. And if you play poorly, oh man, you know the crowd is going to criticize the crap out of you. It's just how it is, right? But regardless, it was really intense, fun, and it was an honor to be on that world stage where even a lot of the players that made it to Worlds didn't even get to sit there. So I don't know what can I say about that. But outside of that, after playing there, we were setting up for the rest of Worlds for the finals, and we had the social media room. They set up an area for the media influencers to sit, which was like directly in front of one of the larger screens. And in that area, if you chose to walk around the stage or the entire arena, you're gonna get pulled left and right as media influencers. Like, at least I did anyways. And then they're like, oh my god, Tombox, you have to sign this for me. Oh my god, you gotta take a picture with me. Oh, can you sign this for me? Like tons of signing of cards and just like taking pictures. And I'm just really happy that, you know, I got to kind of meet up with the fans and whatnot, and that was really neat. But although, like, a personal suggestion, I kind of wish that there was an opportunity to like engage with the fans a bit more directly during some period of time, perhaps, you know, while they're getting the stream ready or they're getting the entire event ready. Perhaps the influencers could, like, you know, do a bit of like a round just to warm up the crowd, and I don't know, maybe that's just a future opportunity in the waiting. Next question here is, when did you get to buy things from the store, and what is the store like? Okay, so the store was opened on Sunday for us. As influencers, we got an early chance to actually purchase stuff from the store. We could buy the goodie bag, we could buy a poster that's like this one. We also got to purchase figures, and you guys have also just activated my trap card. They got us mugs. There's a lot of things to purchase there, but the goodie bag itself included the sleeves, included the deck box, included one of the mats. And okay, that being said, it did not include any of those products. That was a different bag. I would call that bag the gift bag, and that gift bag included like everything that you guys saw that was super excited. Anything that was basically not released yet, it was in there. It came with the Rocket Revolt structure deck, came with Mystic Fighter OCG pack, came with Gold Sarcophagus tin, Fist of the Gadget box, and the envelope with the sealed cards of Red Eyes and Monster Reborn, the celebration cards. Like, all that was in there, and there was also, of course, the mat itself. So you got like the sleeves, the boxes, everything wrapped up that was included in the goodie bag as well. So that was a pretty insane bag that you guys saw, and that would make up for the store. And of course, a lot of these purchases were limited one per customer, so you could not acquire that many sleeves, and that's why those sleeves are so kind of rare to go around. And yeah, that sums up the store for you guys. And I guess our other question here is, who were the winners of World Championship 2019 in each of their faction? So for TCG, we have Kosaka Koki. And for Duel Links, we have Kobayashi Shuhei. And for our Dragon Duel, we have Sun Shang-en. I guess we have 2 Japanese winners and 1 Taiwanese winner. So Asia dominating the trading card game scene this year. Maybe the North Americans will make a splash next time. Maybe the Europeans will make a splash next time. We'll look forward to seeing that perhaps. And that basically summarizes the entire event of World Championships 2019 of Yu-Gi-Oh! In Berlin, Germany. So if you guys got any other questions, well, you can leave it down in the comments section below. And if you guys enjoyed this video summarizing the entire event from my eyes, hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit subscribe for some stuff for WCS Portland that you guys need to be aware of, because I'm going to be covering perhaps rulings and perhaps some of the cards that you guys should be considering in your side deck as well. So stay tuned for that. Hit subscribe, ding notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao, guys.